Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to Riverbend Springs. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a wonderful day. And I do hope none of you have jumped ship as a result of the escapades in the last episode. I only kind of say that jokingly just because I fully appreciate the divided opinion regarding the collecting of the collectibles. But as I might have said in that previous episode, obviously the previous episode is actually coming out this evening, so I'm recording this before that one's come out, so I don't know, how well that's gone down, whether it's gone down like a lead balloon or not. I hope not. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it, at the end of the day? And you do get an achievement for collecting all the collectibles, so there is that. But in my mind, as I stand by my decision to do them, purely because, and like I say, I appreciate the divided opinion regarding them, because a lot of people do, rightfully so, believe that they give you too much of an advantage when suddenly 250 grand lands into your bank, or depending on the quantity of money you get for collecting all the collectibles. In this case, it's 250 grand. But in my opinion, it's down to how you spend that money, and I'm not planning on giving myself a massive advantage. As most of you will know if you've watched this series from the beginning, we did actually start this series with quite a sparse collection of equipment. We only had the tractor, we got a seeder, we had the trailer, and the telehandler and the harvester and the cultivator. I think that was pretty much it, wasn't it? Oh, and the grass. We had the baler and the mower and windrower. But that was it. So we were lacking a few bits of equipment. And ordinarily, if you start a save in new farmer mode, you'll have all those bits of equipment, or a lot of them anyway. So the things we needed are essentially just some form of ability to spread fertilizer and potentially lime as well. And that's kind of it. So I am planning on spending the money wisely and not giving myself a massive advantage. So if you saw the last episode, of course, you'll know that we purchased the potato field. We got those harvested, and when we weigh up against the cost of the harvester machine that we leased out, we made a profit of around about $6,000, which isn't too daft if you ask me. Yeah, so we made £6 from that, but we've now got another field, and when the plan goes forward, when the sunflower harvest happens and we get those out the ground, and I join these two fields together to make one, and then obviously create an arable field out of the land over there where the bales are, we'll have in total 3 fields, and that's not too daft either. I don't think it's not too many. It's not like we've got acres and acres of land. We'll have 3 fields, and hopefully the basic equipment that we'll need to get most jobs done on the farm. So at the minute, as you can see, we're sat at $156,498. The way I plan on spending this money, because essentially we're going to finish off with less money than what we started with before I collected the collectibles. So I'm going to spend $45,000 on a lime spreader. I'm going to spend $30,500 on a liquid fert and herbicide sprayer. I'm going to spend $18,000 on a new shed. Or I say it's a new shed, it's actually an old shed, but it looks really nice. I hope you'll agree when you see it. We're going to spend $16,000 on a fuel tank, and $8,750 on 5,000 litres of fuel to put in the fuel tank. So that'll bring the grand total bank account back down to a much more reasonable $38,251. So I think that's quite reasonable, don't you think? I hope you agree, hopefully. So we're going to crack on with that now. This is actually the second attempt I'm making at doing this particular segment of video. I made this, I recorded all this yesterday, and I carried on with the plan of placing down the new shed. But I really wasn't very happy with the quality of the content. Not the visual quality, just me and my recording. So I've gone back to a previous save and started again. Now, the plan is, we're also going to buy a chainsaw as well, for $1,000. But the plan is I'm going to place this new shed down in this area here, just on this piece of grass here. And to do that, I need to chop down this pine tree and this, what do you call this one now? The downy serviceberry. We need to chop this thing down, this behemoth, and this serviceberry bush here as well. Now, because I've already done this once, I know that it is an absolute faff. It really is. The pine tree's fine, dead easy, not a problem. This one, bit of a nightmare, as is the other one. But this great thing, this was no end of stress. It is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever had to do on FarmSim 22. I've chopped down many trees, many trees. Most of them aren't really much of a problem, but this thing was an absolute proper job, let's just say. it was quite glitchy, it was quite difficult, it was quite buggy, I suppose. Once you've chopped it down and you start trimming off the bits that they're kind of just visual bits, they're not actual wood trunks, you can't chop into them, you can only trim them off. The actual function of trimming things off with the chainsaw, in my experience so far, that one being the first tree that I've chopped down, it's quite buggy and it's very difficult to do. So I did plan on trying to put that into some kind of nice tree felling time lapse, but it really didn't go the way I planned, because this, like I said, the 2 service berries and that great big American elm were nothing short of stress. So with that in mind, because I now know what I've got to up and coming in front of me, I'm just going to get that done off camera. I'm not going to, you know, bore you to tears with the nightmare that is chopping down these trees. And obviously we're going to, what I need to do as well is I need to lease a log grab for the telehandler so I can pick all the bits up, pop them on the trailer, and we'll take them off to the one of the, I think the carpentry places closest down the road there, and just sell them off and get a couple of grand into the bank for those. So that's the plan. So we are going to take the farm forward step by step, but the shed that I've got in yesterday there was a handful of mods. This is one of the things where the shed came from. We had a handful of mods drop on the ModHub, and a few of them are ones that we will recognise from FARMERSIM 22, and they are wonderful, quite frankly. So initially we had an old shed pack from a modder called Agrogati drop on the ModHub yesterday, and I'm going to be using one of those sheds from that pack, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to jump into the construction menu and show you what I've got planned, because they are really, really nice sheds, and I recommend you go check them out if you haven't already. So it's one of the bigger ones of the pack, and I think, quite frankly, the colour is obviously perfectly suited to the farm, but just the look and the feel and the patina of the thing, I think, is absolutely perfect. It's nice and old and rusty, and it looks brilliant. So the plan is that that's going to sit somewhere here, and as you can see, that's why I need to get rid of those trees. So that's what we're doing with that shed pack. We also had the Paint and Terraform Anywhere mod from Modelica of the farming agency. That dropped, so I've now got that installed on the computer. We have the Cultivator Field Creator mod by Wopster. Now, I was a avid user of this mod over in 22, and now that has changed only very slightly the direction I'm going to take regarding the joining of the 2 fields. It just means I don't have to lease a plow. I can do it now with our cultivator here, so potentially going to be sorting that out as well. That saves us the lease costs of a plow, at least. The Park Vehicle mod by Vertex Design, that dropped as well. That's a really handy piece of modding work. It's brilliant. Don't really necessarily need it on the farm at the minute because we've only got 3 vehicles, but it's great to have it in the background there. The Info Display Extension mod by Akimobile, that landed. Now, that's a wonderful thing. That just gives you a little bit of extra information in the display on the bottom right, in the bottom right hand corner when you come to, for example, your silo. It also works with animals as well. But as you can see there, it tells us that we have a used capacity of 53,473, and it also gives us the total capacity of the silo at 250,000 litres. Now, that wasn't there before, and it's all thanks to that mod that is there now. The Realistic Cab View by Loki79. This is a beautiful mod that I used all the time in 22, and it's now back in 25. So what essentially that does, I'll jump in cab here just to show you very quickly, but you're free to move. Now, before the mod, you were free to move around the cab in 360-degree rotation. Now, you stop here to add a bit of a realism to it, because in real life you wouldn't spin around like that. But if you press the shift button, it just gives you that lean forward like that from whichever angle you're at. Really, really cool, especially when it comes to reversing up to your bits of equipment. Really, really handy. So we've got the Realistic Cab View back in game, which is wonderful. And last but not least, the Round Baler extension by Ifconator. Now, I could really have done with this mod a couple of episodes ago when I was running the baler picking up the bales of straw out of the field here. It's quite a feat, and it's quite a skill when you're running your baler and stopping it at exactly 100%, so that you can wait for the round bale that you've just made to unload out the back of the machine before you can carry on. The Round Baler extension just does that automatically for you. So it's a very, very handy mod indeed. So that's the plan with the farm anyway. We're going to, like I say, we're going to place down that shed. I'm going to get rid of those trees. I am going to get rid of the trees off camera, like I said, because it was quite a task. But one of the things that we are going to place down first and foremost is the fuel tank. Now, I need to remind myself of where that is. Tools. Sorry, containers, isn't it? There we go. So this is the one I had in mind. it doesn't overlap with another object. Just toggle free mode, and that should get rid of that message. Now I always like to place things down square to whichever line of road it's next to. So roughly, that's about us there, I think. So we'll place that down for $16,000. There we go. And then we're going to fill it up. We're not going to fill it up completely, because that's quite an expense. But if we go to here now, we're going to scroll that down to 5,000 litres for $8,250. There we go. Excellent stuff, because the our white over here needs a drink. It's pretty empty, let's be honest. So we'll run this thing over now and get it filled up. We can just let it sit there and do its thing. Now, very excitingly for me anyway, yesterday was new graphics card day. So I am now very happy to say, let's just turn the engine off there. Yep, I want to fill you up. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm now happy to say I'm now back running the game in full 4K loveliness. And I must admit, it's taken me, since midday yesterday, to get the thing running properly. I almost did throw in the towel and send it back, because I didn't think it was going to be working properly. Those of you in my Discord will have heard me on there responding to a few comments saying, yeah, I may well get rid of it, but no. It's an AMD graphics card. It's a 7900 XTX, and it is now working perfectly. I can now run the game at full settings, every graphical option turned up to its absolute maximum at 60 frames a second, and it's absolutely perfect. And it has also improved my stream quality immensely as well for live stream, so it means I can stream live stream in 4K as well, which is exactly what I was aiming for. So I'm very, very happy with that. So hopefully, moving forward now as well, yep, as I say, the game should look as good as it can do. For those of you who are later AMD card users, I've got a bit of a tip over on my Discord there. If you are experiencing performance issues, head over to my Discord in the chat section there. It's a relatively simple thing if your graphics card does support it, but it's called the AMD Smart Access Memory, and that's the function that needs to be turned on in your BIOS. So if you are, like I say, an AMD user and need a bit of help getting the performance out of it, just head on over to my Discord, and like I say, it's a very simple step to get that sorted. So anyway, right, enough of my waffle. As I say, the first thing we're going to do is I think the first thing I actually need to do is go and head on over to the store and lease the log grab for the telehandler, and then I'm going to crack on with this tree felling work. Now, like I said before, I'm going to do this off camera, purely because, like I said, it is an absolute nightmare, quite frankly. So I will get all this done. I will get myself over to the store, get this log grab leased. I'm only going to lease it because we're only going to need it for potentially a couple of hours. Get these trees chopped down, and I will pick you up when I'm on my way to the carpentry sell point with the logs and stuff on the back of the trailer, and then we can progress forward, because it didn't make for good content, let's just be honest. It really didn't. It was a nightmare. But anyway, the idea with the shed is that's where I'm going to put the bales that are in that field over there, because we've now got the cultivator field creator mod. It means I can now get to work in that field and get that cultivated under. I don't have to wait for the sunflowers to be harvested before I need to plough all the other two fields together, if you remember me going on about that. So if I can get those grass bales out of the field, get them nicely stowed away in the shed. We've also got what was the potato field here that we can run the cultivator in as well. So one of the other benefits of doing the whole collectibles thing was obviously gaining a bit more land as well. That will it gives me more content to create, work in our own land, instead of just running around doing contract after contract after contract purely just to make content. So we can get to work for a little bit anyway on our own land and in our own fields. So anyway, I'll pick you up in a wee while when these trees are felled and we're a bit more sorted. So see you soon. Just a quick bit of a tip for any of you who are looking to do a bit of logging. If you didn't know already in the game, the way I've tried to figure it out myself is, you know, obviously you've got to trim the logs down of all the kind of the light branches and trunks that we don't actually need. the method I found to do that is to... You need to crouch down first. I should have done that actually on camera, but if you well, say the log was here and I wanted to walk up it and trim it down, if I'm stood on my feet at this height, it won't work. And if I crouch down and then stay in crouching hold, you've got to crouch down and then do it, and it seems to work much better. The actual trimming of the bushes, just another little helpful tip if it helps anybody. Like I said though, it is quite a faff, and I think I'm going to attempt this one next. So, like I said, it's a right job. It really is. So I want to crouch down, take it down as low as I can go. Because we are also going to need to lease a stump grinder, of course, to get rid of the stumps before I place down my shed. So that's another little bit of an expenditure that we're going to have. We'll only be leasing it for half an hour or so, so it's not going to cost too much money. But yeah, when you see this thing drop, it's a heck of a job. It really is. So, anyway, let's. I'll see if I can demonstrate that now. Actually, so you want to crouch down first, and then kind of trim them off as best as you can. But you see how it doesn't necessarily always work. The orange indicator is the bit that indicates that the chainsaw is ready to trim, as it were. It does work in places, don't get me wrong, but it is very, very awkward and difficult, and particularly time consuming, and it doesn't really make for much good content, me faffing around in a tree. So now I've got this thing down, like I said before, I will get all this thing done, all this lot done, and I'll pick you up when I'm on my way to the carpenters. Well, I'm trying to take it very, very easy, but this is the dodgiest load that you've ever seen on a flatbed vehicle. Look at the state of that, honestly. I was, fortunately, the service berry bushes, the light grey ones, you can pick those pieces up by hand immediately after cutting them off the tree from the ground. So that was one job that made things slightly easier, but look at the state of that. That's an absolute mess. And obviously, as you can see, I've got the very big, heavy trunks of the American elm. I've got those in the log grab, but they're still jiggling around a bit, as you can see. I'm just going to be taking my time with this one, because they are proper dodgy. The log fork itself doesn't seem to like having these two picked up, because... Oh, goodness me. Oh, no, don't you dare. What's just happened there? Yeah. The AI traffic car there just bumped into the log that's hanging off, or one of the logs that's hanging off the side of the trailer there. Yeah, the sooner I get there, the better. Right, anyway, so I'll see you over there in as short a time as possible, but I ain't rushing, that's for sure. Now then, believe it or not, because I sure as hell don't, we made it here relatively drama-free. So let's let those drop if they can. Come on, you got in there. You see what I mean about the log fork glitching a bit? It's just completely gone backwards there. Come on. Are you kidding me? Do you know what? Let's just accept defeat there. Sell wood. There we go. The log fork has sorted itself out there, I think. There we go. Let's pull this ridiculous looking load. Try and get it pretty much there, in the hope that it gets the whole thing. So, sell wood. Boom! $3,922. Now, I didn't actually see what we got for the previous chunks. Let me just pop into the finances. Where are we? So, finances, sold wood. $5,292. Goodness me. Right, okay, all together then. That's pretty good. So, we can go straight into... Well, now, where's my vehicle? How is it you return these... There it is. It's in this one, isn't it? Vehicles. There we go. to remember how to return things there. So let's return that log fork. Hopefully we won't be using that for a very long time. I'm glad that job is done. Right, okay. Hello, hello, hello. Right, so let's get back to the farm, because I'm looking forward to getting this shed placed down and getting on there, getting a bit of field work sorted for today's episode. The plan, I think, is the first job we're going to do, proper job, is move all the bales from the field to the shed that we placed down, and then we're going to run the cultivator in that field and create a field. So, back to the farm. See you in a moment. Forgot the stump grinder. Forgot the stump grinder. I am actually quite glad that I give myself the second opportunity to record this whole bit of video, because watching me flail this thing around yesterday was quite frankly ridiculous. So now that I've figured out, I think, roughly the technique to doing this, you kind of power it on, and once you've lined your machine up right, you essentially just, if I get it to the right height. No, not working with this one. Come on. I just moved it from side to side yesterday, and it seemed to do a pretty good job of taking it out, but not this time, it would seem. Let's straighten this thing up. This doesn't seem to be having any of it today, does it? Let's go right into the top. Oh, goodness me. This is no good, is it? This one was one of the easiest ones yesterday as well. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's recognised it. It's recognised it a bit better. So now, all I had to do was essentially just run it over with it, but it doesn't seem... That's better. There we go. There we go. Again, forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. That didn't work quite as planned as it did yesterday. I'm pretty sure, though. It's just... Yeah, that's gone. That's gone. Right, lovely. Okay, so next one we've got is the pine stump here. And I'm going to have to locate those service berry ones. Well, that one worked a bit better. Yeah, you see what I mean? I just ran that to the side then, and it just seemed to take it right out. I think there's still a bit, is there? There we go. I think I can safely call that one. Oh, there we go. That's better. Get the last of it. It is difficult to tell where it is through all the grass, but I think we can call that done. And now, in fact, I think what might just give me... Let's just turn that off for a minute. What might give me a bit of a fighting chance is if I just paint down a bit of blank grass over here somewhere, just to make... Right, so there's one of them. There we go. Right, okay. Get these things gone, and then we can place the shed down. There we go, that one worked better. Yeah, that big American elm stump didn't seem to like it too much, did it? But... And again, drop you down. No, not quite angled right, am I? Nope. There we go. Right. Excellent. Done. Goodness me. Right, so vehicles. And we want to turn that one back. So return that. Yep. Excellent. Right. Let's shift the tractor and get placing down our first shed. So let's get that nicely out of the way there. back into our construction menu. Up to sheds. Right. That's that one. Let's rotate it in the right orientation. Enable free mode, of course. And I'm gonna... I don't want to do too much damage to this embankment because the ground does go up a bit. But if I just place it somewhere... Let's just go for there. It's as good a place as any, isn't it? There we go. Nice. Now, doesn't that look... I think, honestly, that looks really quite perfect, quite frankly. Just the patina of the thing. It's... and it hasn't done too much... Whereas the landscaping mode... Or the construction mode, sorry. It has dug itself into the embankment a little bit, but it hasn't created a great big cavernous bit of land there. Now, we've got a bit of that going on inside. I think I might be able to level that off relatively easily. And then paint down a bit of grass. But this, for now, is going to be where I plan on popping these bales. So, I'm going to spend a couple of minutes in construction mode, just neatening things up around here, painting the grass down and just having a bit of a dabble at leveling the interior of the shed there without causing too... Because I quite like the way that the shed is kind of buried into the ground here. It's, yeah, looks quite right. So, as usual, give me a couple of minutes and I'll put you back in a few seconds' time. And there we go. Bit of landscaping and painting. Couple of minutes work. This looks like it's been here forever, doesn't it? I love the texture and the colours that we've got inside this barn. It's really, really nice. Proper old school. And yeah, I've left it a little bit lumpy and bumpy. I didn't want to encroach too much on the, like I said before, on the landscaping around the back of the shed here. It did touch it a couple of bits, but aside from that, I'm really happy with that. So anyway, we've not done enough farm work, field work in today's episode yet, have we? So let's get cracking. We're going to jump in the Merlot here and we're going to get them bales picked out the field and put into our shed. So let's crack on. Well, that was a catalogue of errors at times, wasn't it? Knocked a couple over, sent them onto the wrong end, and God knows what's going on here. Yeah, at least I managed to get it strapped on anyway, almost perfect. I was quite pleased with that bit of, well, for most of it anyway, for my level of bale handling skills. Right, anyway, so I'm going to get this lot loaded into the shed, and I'll pick you up when we're ready to get the cultivator out here and create ourselves a field, eh? And that's the last of them. All 32 bales tucked nicely into my nice new shed here. So, got them all kind of neatly, just putting a nice little set in the corner here. And just push this one. There we go. There we go. Lovely stuff. Dead happy with that. They're all about 35% fermented, so there's a bit of time ahead of us to wait for those to finish off. Well, that's all good. Plenty of time by the time, hopefully by the time they finished, Universal Auto Load's been brought back out, eh? And no more torturous watching FARMERSIM try and load bales onto a flatbed, but that's that job done. So, now... Oh, and yeah. I forgot one log, didn't I? Just one. Can you believe it? It was on the other side of the flatbed over there. Typical, eh? So we'll do something with that at some point. Get it sold for pittance, no doubt. But let's just pull this thing forward. Nice and neat along the side of the shed there. There we go. So now we're going to get straight into a bit of field creation. Now we are in September. So we are currently within a planting window for wheat, barley and canola. Canola finishes at the end of this game day. It's almost 10 to 4 in the afternoon, so I very much doubt we're going to get any opportunity to get any canola into the ground, because obviously once I do get this field created, using our newly downloaded cultivator field creator mod, and let me just bring up the F1 menu. There it is, allow create fields. Brilliant. I made good use of this mod back in FARMERSIM 22, I must admit. So this is going to be exciting. This is not going to be too much of a. It's not going to be too much of a small field either, really, is it? It's quite a decent size. So let's get this thing unfolded. I think I'm going to try my best to keep it as neat as possible. Roughly following the line of where we are with this one now. So back up with the F1 menu. Allow create field. Off we go. Brilliant. Our first field, ladies and gentlemen. Our first custom field anyway. Let's get to it.
In sight, beating hearts don't lie. An empty page, a story to write. I'm in love, you're divine, and it's all in our signs. We're going away. Get your bag, check the tag. Decision is made. Lock your door, need no more. It's already paid. Cancel your mail for a while. It's a journey for life, and I'm your ride. Hang on, we'll be long gone. Hang on, I cannot go wrong. God, I'm praying I'm not alone in this air of hope. 'Cause I'm in love, you're a star, burning bright in my heart. We're going away, get your bag, check the tag. Decision is made, lock your door, need no more. It's already paid, cancel your mail for a while. It's a journey. check the tag. A journey for life, and I've already paid. Cancel your mail for a ride. It's a journey for life, and I'm alright. Hang on, we'll be long gone. Hang on, I cannot go wrong. Hang on, we'll be long gone. Hang on, I cannot go wrong. God, I'm praying I'm not alone in this air. A journey for life, I'm alright. No, 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 no.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have created our very first custom field. Now, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy with that. Now that you can kind of see the differentiation between the actual field itself now and the grass around it, it's not a bad size, is it, to be fair? And I think we're going to put this to wheat. I've made the executive decision, so we've got a bit of time ahead of us to get that sorted. The rest of this in-game day, which obviously isn't really going to happen. It's almost the end of the day now. But next month and the following month, we'll get all that sorted. We still need to make the purchase for our lime spreader and our liquid fert and herbicide sprayer. We need to get those purchased, and we'll be doing that in the next episode. And yeah, and then I think the next big job is obviously waiting for the sunflowers to be ready to harvest, which isn't going to be till November. So in that, I suppose, while we're waiting for that, we can get working in this field, give the the soil a bit of nutrition with a bit of lime, and get some seed purchased and get it drilled. And I think that'll be us sowing our first seed. But I have just checked as well, the AI worker does recognise the field, so that's excellent as well. Really happy with that. It's the message came up. I accidentally hired an AI worker once or twice at the end of some of those rows during that time lapse, and it said something like couldn't find a field or something like that. So I was worried that by the time I'd finished it all, the AI worker wouldn't recognise it. But sure enough, it's all good. It recognises it perfectly well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 or any of its couple of add-ons or DLCs, and you like the idea of helping a content creator out and supporting their channel, as always, I would be massively appreciative. So thank you again very much for your time, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.